Something smells delicious in here.
Yeah, it does. I'm hungry. Jake, are you eating El Ranchito Taco Shop?
That looks amazing. What did you order?
Tacos.
What?
Guac.
Jake, are you choking? Get out of my way, Michael. He needs the Heimlich.
Oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening again. Jake, you know you're allergic to avocado. One generic allergy medication later. Are you okay?
Yeah. Almost dying is so worth it to have some El Ranchito creamy guac. Thanks, Eric, for trying to save me, even though I wasn't joking.
I know. I just wanted to get you from behind.
Well, I guess this is a good time to tell everybody that if you're ever in the Inland Empire and are craving some great Mexican food, visit El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake Elsinore.
Seriously, I follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Ranchito Elsinore.
El Ranchito Taco Shop.
More than just great Mexican food. What's up, fuckers? Hey, guys. It's me, Allie. Jake is not here because he is sickly today, but not terribly sickly. He's okay. He's just taking a day off from the pod because he doesn't feel well. No vid, no nothing. But anyways, this is the Customer States Podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything, kind of, in the automotive industry.
You should really do ASMR.
Oh, should I?
You really should.
Well,
I just mean in general, like you should do ASMR.
Customer States After Hours. That's separate.
Maybe we should do some
move on from
beverage ASMR. Ready? Everybody's like, oh, I have good nails. Yeah, good job, guys. Ready? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You're cleaning that.
No.
You're going to have to teach me how to do it. So, because Jake is not here today, I have to do my introduction first, actually. I'm Allie Paul.
The podcast whore.
Yes.
Hi, Allie.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
I have been sticking my hand in a pot of boiling water for, isn't that what
I don't know what just happened.
Tommy said? That
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah.
For the past 13 years, doing warranty administration for both Volkswagen and Mazda. And to my left is Michael Sarah. He does a bunch of things too, guys.
Hi, and if you call me
Stuff and
Michael,
things.
Sarah, I'm going to feel like I'm in trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your middle name? Michael
Eric.
Stefan's
No,
Sarah.
no.
It's Eric.
Nope, it's Stefan now.
It's Eric.
Well,
We have the same name.
my name is
gosh.
my name's Mike,
Yeah, I know.
and
It's great.
I'm a senior mass technician, shop foreman, and transmission technician. And to my left is
Michael.
Eric.
Wait, you're in trouble.
Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I fucking did
Yes,
there?
I saw that, and you can.
I love
yes.
you.
So, you mean?
Shenanigans?
That one bitch.
And
You didn't hit that one.
I'll get there.
I'm a bitch. Did I do it?
You guys
You did
are
do it.
spoiling it. Anyway, to my left is Eric Montenegro.
What's up, bitches?
There it is.
Tis I, Eric Montenegro.
That's your intro from now on.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
And I hope
you
our
know why?
listeners are too.
Because
Yes, and I revel in that. Thank you. When someone calls me a bitch, it's a compliment, not an insult.
But like when I call you a bitch, it's different. I'm like, bitch, it's
Like,
different,
yeah,
you know?
Well, that's different.
I
when
would
you're
never
with
call
your-
Michael a bitch unless, or sorry, Mike a bitch unless he anchored me in some fashion.
Wow. Wow.
but-
That took a violent turn.
But our guest
Well, I wasn't done introducing
Hurry
myself.
up.
God, you
was so good.
bitch.
Today, Junior.
Heavy line technician for Ford Motor Company, 5 years. And to my left is our very special, top secret, although it's no longer top secret, guest, Will Tomzak.
You got it. Hello. My name is Will.
I'm a bumper to bumper tech for the last 7 years.
And for those of you who are just joining us, Will has been a guest on our podcast. For now, this is his third time.
It's the
Thank
magic
you so
number.
much. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for being our filler.
He's physically seated in a different location on the couch this time because Jake's absent, just so if anybody's keeping track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome. And Will has been, he's in Volkswagen as well. He's a
Yes.
Volkswagen tech.
Volkswagen.
And I believe he has a little bit of a comeback of a little
Yeah.
From a few episodes ago.
Yeah, so Will is here
rebuttal.
for a reason. So it was
Here to defend myself.
Yeah,
Yes.
because of accusations Allie made.
It wasn't last week, but the week before. So 2 episodes ago, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, Will, why are you here? Tell us.
Well, so a few episodes ago, you should go watch it if you haven't already.
Thank you.
So she had brought up a specific job that I was working on.
As an
Allie
example.
did. As an example. Mm-hmm. It was a bad example, but it was an example.
Rude.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get there. So what got me at the very first, whenever I first heard, whenever she had mentioned it, about the beetle, I knew it was my job right
The
away.
second she said
Yeah,
that.
as soon as she said, I was like, oh God, this is going to be mine.
I don't know why, but when she said that and when you're saying it now, I just envisioned this bright yellow beetle, new beetle in my
There
head.
it was.
It probably is yellow.
I don't think it was. I think it was white, to be honest with you.
Damn
I
it.
apologize
That's all right.
for
Classy.
ruining that for you. But it was completely fine until she started to go into the detail about the story.
And open her
You know,
mouth.
and then like you two was like, oh no, that's bad. Like that's bad. I'm like, wait a second, I need to defend myself now because it was like, and then she's like, oh, this is a friend of the podcast, and then everybody was like cool with it all of a sudden. You know, and I'm like,
I feel like I'm gonna have to
was-
break that back into the episode because I'm gonna need a refresher on what that specifically
so
was.
we're gonna stitch that into the episode right now.
okay, so
That was it. Okay, go on.
all right.
So what had happened was
what had happened is so Allie had mentioned that I spent a lot of time diagnosing a car.
Oh, was this the
Just a coil
60%?
It was.
Oh, that
yes.
one.
For just a coil pack, and
Well,
So-
hold on. Give me a chance to defend
Okay.
myself now because she initially said it was 1.6, and then my first reaction was like, "What?" No. And then I was like, "Okay, well, wait a minute. Yeah,
that number was over exaggerated.
it wasn't." But either way, I was like, "Okay." I kind of agreed with it in the end.
So it was, if I remember right, it was 1 hour and 14 time units. I believe is what.
So it's 1.2.
You know,
So yeah, it was 1.2. Let's just say that.
yeah,
Right?
it's splitting hairs. It was more than
Okay.
that, but it's not a big deal.
So
Anyways,
and it comes down to it wasn't just a bad coil pack. Okay, it was not something that was like it was causing misfires consistently, and all it had was circuit faults, and it wasn't misfiring at the time. And for cylinder number 1, there were circuit faults for the coil pack, which wasn't causing a fault or not
causing a misfire.
a misfire at the time. So I couldn't just switch the coil packs over
Right.
or whatever. And
was a circuit
and
fault.
normally if it was like something that was just maybe it caused a check engine light, but the customer was concerned because she had the car went into limp mode.
Oh,
And this happened 3 times within like a week's time.
okay.
So 3 times in 7 days, it's really hard to duplicate something like that.
yeah, extremely intermittent.
Yeah. So, and I don't know about you guys, but in our scan tools, it tells us, how many times the malfunction happened, the temperature, ambient temperature, all that stuff.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
screen
Freeze frame
Shot.
data, snapshot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I verified it had 3 different. I'll get to you in a second.
I want to verify something that it is not your fault. So when you're done, that that exacerbated this situation that you probably aren't even aware of.
Isn't that the whole point of this conversation?
Yes, which we're doing.
Okay, let him
Sit very
finish.
civilly.
So
He's speaking.
I raised my hand.
So pretty much it comes down to, like, I know it wasn't just like a fluke thing. This is something that's consistently happening with the customer's car, and I want to take care of it with it at this visit, even though it's not happening currently. So I did my due diligence, and I went in and I made sure I checked all of the wires going. I checked the grounds. I checked the power going to the fuses. I got the oscilloscope out, and I made sure the pulses were right and all that stuff. I did everything to make sure all the wiring was good, and that's what took up most of my time.
Yeah.
And then once I figured out all that, because it's like, you got to take the
Fault
wiring
tracing,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the ECU, the plug off the ECU, and I'm pinning everything out, making sure everything's good.
The access time to get to all that stuff. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Process
so
of
it takes-
elimination.
It takes time. So I just wanted to come in and be like, it wasn't just a misfire, and the customer was experiencing issues, and that was the time that we put into it.
Were you able to actually duplicate the issue initially though?
So I wasn't able to duplicate the issue at all, but
Okay.
the customer hasn't been back, and it's been 3 weeks. So
Ooh, nicely done.
and,
No red sheet
and it
for you.
happened consistently all in 1 week before she had brought the vehicle in, and it was putting the car in limp mode.
And
So
but
she
it
had
had
to cycle the
it had the freeze frame data from
It
that.
had the freeze frame.
Okay, so
data.
you had something to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
It wasn't just fishing. Like, he knew what he was looking for, and he was trying to pinpoint the issue, which I totally recognize. And I'm very, very glad that the customer hasn't been back, that you did everything that you were supposed to do as far as diagnosing the vehicle.
Yeah.
So this totally sounds like what we were talking about earlier, where you're like, I don't mean to be an asshole, but, or I'm not racist, but, this is, you're going down that tone set.
Well,
that.
I mean, this.
I'm so glad that the customer hasn't been back. And you did everything you were supposed to.
Yeah, you give a little bit of sweet before you give the sour.
And there it is.
I mean,
Sam and I have the same conversations about myself and other technicians' work, and it's like, well, has the car been back? Like, is the vehicle fixed?
Well, after they chucked a whole engine at it for an oil leak,
No, we're still working on that one of yours. Yeah, I mean, it just,
so that is like kind of the crux of the issue, right? Is like, well, first of all, I'm never going to approach a tech like, hey, unless I have a really good rapport with them, but I don't even think I would do this with you, Will. Like, hey, you fucked up. Fix this shit. Because we have plenty of people at our dealership who do that. And what does it solve?
never a way to approach anything. Yeah.
It doesn't solve anything. But, and we had this conversation before. So like I said, like I was going to bring it back before, is you had mentioned like this whole great story about what happened with this is the part that's not his fault. Literally, the concern set. Do you remember what the concern was? Like, was that all written out?
So this is okay. So I do have to say that I
Here we go.
did not buy. I did not write the
Yeah.
best story.
that's
Sometimes
it.
you get rushed by your service writers. You got a lot of
Customer's
jobs
here to
going
pick the
on.
car up.
You
Why
know,
the
and
fuck
so
did
it's
you tell
like-
them it was ready?
Exactly.
You piece of shit.
So it's like
CYA.
I wrote a basic story, which I corrected after you came to me.
Yeah.
And like I ended up writing out the story. I put down, this pin to this pin, this pin to this pin. And I went into
Specifics.
very detail.
Good,
I actually
good.
had time. I had time at that particular time, but yeah, no, I don't know. Do you guys come across that where you guys are just rushed and you just got to get
Yes.
something? You might be getting rushed or something.
Just gave you an example. Yes.
I'm always rushed, but I still try and find time to like make a good story because
Oh, I make them wait. I'm like, no, this isn't happening. Sorry, they're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
I might be in court in 2 years for this case, this vehicle that I worked on today, and in 2 years I'm not going to remember a thing about this. So I
I'm
need
gonna
to make
remember
sure.
tomorrow a thing about this damn thing.
I'm not going to remember it in 5 minutes.
So in Will's defense, and what I was actually talking about, not to say anything about your personal story, is that literally the concern of that beautiful, like, verification that you were telling me that the customer was having, the service writer literally wrote on the RO, like they didn't write any of that. They wrote check engine light is on.
It's a very vague description of a customer's concern.
Yeah, the information that I gave you guys was me telling the service writer, can you call the customer and get more information about
that's usually how that
I
happens.
believe that's our biggest complaint as technicians is that how can you tell me, oh, the vehicle shifts
The
hard
service
into...
writer's gone to defend himself.
Oh, God. Okay.
Come on, get it out, get it out.
So how can you tell me the vehicle shifts hard into gear? Does that mean into park from drive or drive to reverse or from third to fourth gear? I mean, what does that mean? You cannot give me such... Well, the customer didn't say anything else. Beg them, plead with them, play word games with them, figure out a description. When does this happen? The more information that I have off of this thing, because granted, there's probably not going to be any codes in it unless you say there's DTCs in it. Give me a description. How can I duplicate this concern and what am I looking for?
I want to play devil's advocate just for a second.
Oh, don't.
No, I'm going to because
Okay.
I find it hilarious. Because... So yes, we have.
He's gonna pause for a.
we have that problem of advisors not giving us enough information because they're not asking the customers, to help us with our diagnosis. But at the same time, there are those advisors that write down the fucking novel that the customer told
Give
them.
it to me.
And you're trying to read this thing and it's like, what the fuck are they trying to say? Like, I get that they're trying to be thorough and give us all of the information, but it makes absolutely no sense from, spell check to fucking the topics are bouncing around.
This one time 3 weeks ago when pulling out a target and making left-hand turn uphill, there was a lack of power when it went to this.
But that's my point is, we bitch about both things here. And we don't necessarily bitch about the second one, what I'm talking about, more so poke fun at it and,
It's
show
just like word vomit.
show our coworkers like, what the fuck does this mean? I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But.
Well, and I feel like if I had known the weirdness of the concern itself and that there was other stuff on it, because when you say just the check engine light is on, in my mind the first thing that you're gonna do
is scan it.
Yeah, like GFF, there you go. It's the guided fault finding. So
I'm
we've
sorry.
talked about this
That's just
before.
like go fuck yourself or something.
Well, that's not
That's GFY,
right,
baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I do think that misstep from the get with the service writer started the issue, because I would have known, okay, well, it's a little more in depth. You have to test drive the car. You have to duplicate the concern, all of that. So I do fault some of that to the writer. Do you remember, don't say names, but do you remember who the writer was?
I feel
Is
like-
it the one all the way to the left?
Not this one,
Okay.
but that one always messes
Oh, he
me up.
leans more to the right.
So-
He's more of a Republican.
He's
Weren't you
more
the
to
one that
left.
were bitching at us that says this is not a political or religious podcast? Shut the fuck up.
Well, I feel
feeling
like
it for
that's
Jake.
very vague.
I'm feeling it for Jake.
God.
Moving on.
So
Moo.
I feel like this is okay. So before I segue to that specific issue, definitely, like, there was a little bit, he just added more to the story and it completely made sense. So that's really why the whole thing was tied in to the diagnosis thing, is like, if techs aren't going to support it, how do I know? I cannot go down we wrote 25 repair orders last Friday. Like, I can't.
Is that a lot?
Go, yes.
Like, we do
Sorry,
between
wait.
80 and 100 a day.
But you have to understand that it's specifically warranty.
Okay.
It's specifically warranty. So I understand that you're at a bigger shop, but we also were working in the dark age. Like, we
Yes.
are working with
A pen and
old-timey
paper.
punch times, pen
No,
and
they
paper.
don't have pen and paper. They have a piece of marble and a hammer
Yeah,
and a
we're
chisel.
fucking etching this shit into marble, you
I
guys.
was going to give them a little credit and say they had a feather pen and ink.
A quill.
Yeah, a
So
quill and ink.
quill
in
and
your
parchment.
guys' defense, it is extremely archaic, and I'm very proud of the way that you're able to still conduct business to this day.
But they
Yeah,
don't
the
know anything
oscilloscope-
else, though. That's all they know. So
that's very
and that's where we
unfortunate.
all came from. So they don't know anything else.
One day your business will blossom and grow, just like the Edelweiss of Germany.
I beg to differ.
Good tie-in for Volkswagen.
Yeah,
What were
like
you-
that
Oh, did I-
oscilloscope that I was mentioning that I had to pull out before. It's not what like you guys might have at your dealerships. It's not like a neat little. This thing is a massive,
It's the
big,
cabinet.
portable
Yeah.
thing that you push around. And that literally, it has a battery pack in that hasn't worked since I've worked here.
So it has to stay
So it
plugged in
has
at
to
all
stay
times.
plugged in, and it's like the plug is right over my toolbox, and I think like 3 times I pulled out a drawer to get it, and it pulled the plug out.
Fuck.
It's just an old machine, but yeah.
And we won't even go into the scan tool issues that we've been having lately.
What the one scan tool that you guys share between
No.
all your technicians?
No, we actually all have our own scan tool, each tech.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no,
They decided to spend money.
we're blessed there. Mm-hmm. That's it.
My goodness. Well, I mean, when you have
That's
3
where it
technicians in the
stops.
shop, it's not hard.
So we had a shop meeting recently. And this was something that we brought up. I brought up the whole thing about the metrics and
The Matrix?
not the matrix. We're not dodging bullets here.
Damn it. Just dodging warranty admins.
I try and be nice. I'm sure I come off as I was venting to Will and Ricky the other day about I was like, we're so fucked. Everything is fucked. I was so overwhelmed when I came and talked to you guys.
You have to understand that it comes with the territory.
Sure.
It's not you personally. It's your job.
I
So-
feel like I have a good relationship with you guys.
And
Like
that's
no one.
awesome.
That's what every warranty administrator says.
Yeah.
And with my warranty
Sometimes
administrator,
maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
my current warranty admin, my former warranty admin. Hi, Sammy.
Sammy.
I see.
Great working relationships with both of them. But whenever they'd walk into the room, like, what did I do?
Yeah.
That's
always.
exactly what I say to her.
Always.
Every time
Yeah.
she walks up to my stall, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Or he's walking in my general area. Are you here for me? And he's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not. It's fine.
Literally
I'm like,
the
okay.
way-
We know
the-
that's how it is, though. Like
Yeah.
I try and pop in every now and again and talk to.
No one likes
everyone.
a random pop in.
Believe it or not, I'm just here to say hi.
That's Seinfeld.
Well, but Will's like,
Yeah.
we're cool,
That's funny.
right? You're gonna write it better. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anytime Sam calls me, the way that I answer the phone is like, "What did I do now?"
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
actually, it's not about you this time. Oh, okay. Thank God. So what's up?
Well, and
The shop meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the shop meeting itself, so that we ended up addressing that topic with how the diagnosis
matrix.
was high. Yeah, and that the overall the reports are just showing that we're super high compared to the region. And so between me, the new shop foreman, and the service manager decided that we would implement a process to try and keep the numbers down. So that process is basically like if you're over an hour, once you hit your hour, you need to be like, hey, can you come check this out? Like that type of thing. I want to know your personal thoughts, feelings, and concerns on this new process.
So you ended up going with what the shop foreman had recommended that they were doing at other shops, because you mentioned last week or the week before that you had talked to him about it to pick his brain about the processes at different dealerships, and he said that that's what they did.
So what they did is a little bit different from what we're personally implementing, because what he did is like basically you're not getting it. You're not if you're over the region, which is 0.9 an hour, that's it.
Oh, that's not what we understood.
That's what he kind of ended up saying to me.
That should
But we're
be.
not doing that.
All right.
We're not doing that.
Okay. Go. I'll leave
Moving
it
on,
at that.
Will, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So I don't really feel anything about it. Like, it's not my place, so I don't get paid to make those decisions. If that's what they want me to do, then that's what they want me to do. I just don't want to where if I'm working on a job and it's taking me more than an hour and I go and I have to talk to the shop foreman, which is in the middle of a job, and then he gets upset at me because he has to break away for whatever reason, you know.
Fucking shop foremans.
I know. You know, it happens to everyone, you know. But you know, as long as everything's cool, if they want me to go talk to them and whatever the procedure is, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get paid extra time on something because it's above and beyond the realm of what the technician is expected to do for that sort of time. I mean, like, you know, so like we have like 2 tenths to scan codes on the vehicle and do a brief, you know, visual inspection, and then 3 tenths for a pinpoint test. But if that pinpoint test requires you to remove the inner fender well and access the PCM and stuff like that, then obviously that 3 tenths doesn't include removing the wheel and tire assembly and the fender well and, you know, all that other stuff. So, you know, there's got to be extra time for that in your guys's.
So for us, we don't itemize it like that. We get just what's called tech check.
Per Volkswagen.
Yeah. So all that stuff is straight time. Mm-hmm. So all diagnosis and stuff like that is all straight time. And then the repair is all itemized and all that.
Which you're clocked into the ticket for, Christian.
Not aimed at anyone at all specific.
No, Christian. No, that wasn't aimed at you at all. Don't worry.
Christian.
He doesn't listen to podcasts anyways.
That's why I said that. All right. Sorry. Continue.
So, my main thing about this, well, I have a question. When was the last time you had a shop meeting?
We've had a shop meeting before.
A shop meeting?
Yeah. I've been working at this dealership for 7 years, and I think we've had 3
Way back
or
when.
4. We may have had 4 shop meetings the whole time I've.
There's your sign. What do you like? How often do you
So
guys
you
have
get
shop meetings?
Nothing.
I'll be honest, we need to have them more often, but I try to not want to do that because it's super inefficient and nobody enjoys it. So it's more like, let's throw a quote unquote pizza party. Everybody's together grabbing food real quick. These are the things that we need to address and move forward. And then everybody disperses and eats their food. But I would say it's at least every couple months. I mean, like,
So there you go.
It
So
should be-
you do it like
it should be
quarterly
it should
or
be
whatever,
monthly.
bi-quarterly.
It should be monthly because that way you can go over the numbers for that month. I mean, so
And we're not even touching into that
I mean,
for us.
okay. Oh,
Yeah, not us.
I mean, every pay period, I hand out pay sheets to the technicians that shows them their efficiency and what they've produced and all that kind of stuff.
How many times have you gotten one of those sheets, Will?
Oh, I get those every paycheck.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
But-
It shows the actual efficiency on it.
Yeah, it tells us our hours worked compared to our hours flagged.
Okay.
There's a whole printout sheet of it that goes into detail.
I do all the math for the technicians and I hand write that because I don't think that a lot of the people that work at my dealership would be able to figure that out. So I write everything on the slips for them. But yeah, I mean, every pay period they get that. But you know, the shop meeting should be once a month because there's a lot of rules, procedures, processes. Like Tommy talked about last week, the processes. I don't know why they're not being followed right now, but they should be. They should still be followed because they were in place beforehand. And it just boggles the mind.
And you, Eric, what's your shop meeting status?
They're usually safety meetings.
Sure. Don't cut your fucking finger off or whatever.
That's pretty much what the shop meetings
Don't back into a Ford Lightning when another tech is
working adjacent.
adjacent to it, but
Adjacent.
not directly on that vehicle.
It's fucking stupid. Don't even. Oh my
That was many weeks ago. That was like a month ago.
That still boils my blood.
But you're good now, right?
Yeah. No. We're
Like
fine.
cordial.
Yeah, I've been moving right along.
Do we
But-
feel like we've covered everything for our shop meetings? Is there any thoughts, feelings, concerns that you
for our shop meeting.
Or that
No, the
whole-
point of him coming on the podcast was to defend himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done. He's
Yeah, it's
defended
done.
himself.
Okay, good. I'm just, before we moved on, I just wanted to make sure.
Water under the bridge.
I feel like now knowing the full story and hearing, because like obviously we didn't get to see the repair order and the technician's notes on it last time. So, now that I hear what actually happened, if I had been able to read the RO and the technician put good notes in the repair order, Will.
Hey, they're in there now, all right?
Yeah, now, then yes, no. It's very good though. And again, this is kind of a learning example for everybody. It's always CYA. I mean, I cannot stress that enough for everybody. If you've ever been in a deposition or a lawsuit or any sort of legal thing with your dealership or franchise or mobile service place or, Jiffy Lube or whatever, then you will understand that you do not want to be in this position. And the more documentation that you have, the better that your documentation is, the better that you are protected. So, I mean, and again, no fault to you. That's kind of like, a weird, like outside outlier of the realm of the normal things that you would encounter.
Those are fucking words. What the fuck just happened? You lost half the audience. Anyways, moving on. You're beating a dead horse. You're beating a dead horse with a stick.
No, I think you're just closing up the topic. But anyways.
Well, that's a way to close the topic up.
It is. And I have a topic of discussion when we come back from break.
Oh, are we there?
Yeah, we certainly are.
I guess we're there.
It's about,
Gotta get a little jingle.
it's about picking up the slack from the fucking slackers.
Ooh.
Ooh, there are multiple slackers.
I don't know. I feel like
it's
we
not
got
on
into
there.
it
I'm
pretty
just
hard.
interjecting.
Okay, I want to pick up the slack.
I know you're gonna have so much to say. I fucking know it.
I'm going to try to refrain.
And it's gonna be great.
You know who always picks up the slack with our
Our
podcast?
fucking sponsors. We have the best goddamn sponsors.
We really, really do.
We
Like,
love you guys so much. Thank you so much, Travis Ferris from Hit Distributing, supplying us with Justice Brothers products.
And definitely Remoon from El Ranchito Taco Shop in
Thank
Lake
you.
Elsinore.
Thank you to Nick Lowridge. Sorry.
We really care about our sponsors.
I was busy doing many other things. Thank you to Nick Lowridge from Matco Tools, supplying Matco Tools and Milwaukee. Thank you to Norman Glazier. Thank you to Dale Follett. Thank you to Drew Anio. Thank you to
Will, thanks for being here.
Thank you to our listeners.
Hey
Really
Jake.
appreciate
Hey
it.
Jake, thank you. We missed you. We'll see you in a little bit, Jake.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
We love you.
Hi, Mike Serra here from Customer States. If you're searching for the highest quality additives, lubricants, or cleaners for your automotive, heavy equipment, agricultural, or industrial machinery needs, look no further than the Justice Brothers line of products. From lubing your chainsaw, performing a complete fuel system treatment and decarb service on a customer's vehicle, keeping that forklift forking and lifting, or just need a can of that famous JB80 penetrant to persuade a rusty bolt, Justice Brothers has you covered. Travis Ferris of Hit Distributing is not only Southern California's authorized Justice Brothers distributor, but also a great friend of mine. Over the years, Travis has helped me and my dealership with anything and everything we need, including all the lines of Justice Brothers products and even equipment to perform the various services we may need for our specific application. HIT stands for honesty, integrity, and trust. So you know when you contact Travis, that's exactly what you'll get. That, combined with Justice Brothers supplying superior quality automotive products since the 1940s and 75 years in the racing industry, you will have absolutely everything at your disposal to get the job done. Justice Brothers is proudly made in the USA, and they have a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Justice Brothers has the best quality products over any other competitor, and they'll gladly tell you that themselves. If you live in the Southern California area, call my man Travis Ferris at 805-208-7818. And if you don't, call him anyway and tell him I said thanks. And visit justicebrothers.com to learn more about their complete line of products. Justice Brothers, America's brand for quality.
National Play on Your Tits Day.
Oh, that's every day, my friend.
Is that a thing?
No, I don't think so.
It is now. I just made it.
You know, like how hot dog companies will make like National Hot Dog Day? I think that's what Customer States just did. You know?
And we're back.
I appreciate that.
Welcome to Customer States Podcast.
Oh, we're filming. Oh my gosh.
Hello. Thank you for joining us again, Will.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
To our sponsors
Happy to
for
be
helping
here.
us keep the lights on and the heater going and the AC when necessary. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. To that, we salute you.
That's a song. Wait, I'm gonna have some as well.
Hashtag
So-
sell the bell.
For those of you,
So thirst quenching.
I mean, I did need that.
just joining us, we touched a little bit. Wow, I'm happy.
Oh,
We touched a little bit on people who are dirty, rotten slackers.
Yeah. Now, that could be argued with: are they slackers? Are they naive? Are they inexperienced? Are they not qualified to do their job? It just depends on the point of view of the person who's doing the
Bitching.
fixing of the fuckery.
Unfuckery, that's been a topic.
Unfuck the fuckery. Yes, we have talked about that before.
yeah.
And I want to talk about it again because I'm a bit of a bitter Betty about it. I really am.
Bitter Betty.
I like it.
You know, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, it helps my wallet, and I'm okay with that. But excuse me. Oh my God, I'm
Bless
so sorry.
you.
I thought that was
my
Koa.
God.
That came out of nowhere. Had I been able to control that, I would have. Oh my goodness. And what I'm talking about specifically are jobs that are either given to you because you're a more qualified technician, or you actually know what the fuck you're doing, you know? And this goes down to like basic mechanic 101, if
Okay.
you will. It's like,
If you will.
really? Oh, hi, Will.
Hey.
Thank you to our special guest, Will, for joining us in the studio today.
Yes.
We really appreciate you. I have had several instances, even at this new location, where I've had to unfuck the fuckery. And is when the tech who originally touched the vehicle either A, no longer wants to touch it anymore, or B, is out of the shop and can no longer touch it. So it gets given to me because I have no problem picking up the bullshit, apparently.
You're a good unfucker.
I had one situation specifically where the tech had recommended an engine to the customer. Now, mind you, this is an older vehicle that's completely out of warranty. And the tech had the advisor tell the customer they needed an engine. And left it at that. There was no quote given. There was nothing. It was just dead in the water. Needed an engine, and it had been sitting there for a week. And so the RO was brought to me and said, we need some information on this. Can you get us a quote, figure out why the engine's recommended, blah, blah, blah.
Just a ballpark estimate and
Yeah.
brief synopsis of what's going on with the vehicle. Yeah.
And I apologize if I touched on this before. I don't think I had. But anyways, it was originally said that a vehicle needed an engine because of a knocking noise. So I got the vehicle and I verified a rattly noise, more like.
Okay.
But that's, you know,
Rattly.
neither here nor there. It's, you know, whatever, in the eye of the beholder. And so...
In the ear of the beholder.
Indeed. Yes, thank you. And with my certified trained ears, what I heard was not what was said to be a rod knock, but in fact, pinging. And
Pre-ignition,
Pre-detonation.
detonation. Yeah.
yeah. So, pinging or pre-detonation, pre-ignition, whatever you want to call it, happens when
Premature.
yes, premature ejaculation. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So when you use a lower,
Nothing is fucked here. Nothing is fucked.
you use either a really cheap grade fuel or a lower octane fuel than what the engine calls for. Now, an octane, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here.
Tangent away.
Yes. The reason we have different octanes of fuel is to...
I want to hear this.
I really hope I impress you with this. Is to compensate for higher compression engines. And a higher octane fuel will not burn with just the heat and the pressure of those higher compression engines. It takes an ignition source to burn the air and fuel mixture. So therefore, if you have a lower octane fuel in a higher combustion engine, the pressure from the higher compression inside the cylinder creates so much heat that it ignites the air and fuel mixture in the cylinder before it's supposed to. So before the PCM says, hey, fire off the spark plug, it's time to fire the cylinder. And so it ignites beforehand. And so what the PCM does, it sees that happen and it retards the timing to compensate for that.
We don't say that word.
And
No, that's what happens.
yes, it retards the timing. And you probably are not going to notice it unless you're driving a high performance vehicle. But you need to put the correct octane fuel in your vehicle for that engine, because the higher octane will not burn with the heat and the pressure of the compression. It needs that ignition source to be able to burn. So, Mikey's, yes. Okay, thank you.
I think we all kind of know where this is going.
I appreciate the validation. So this vehicle was...
I feel like I learned something today, so thank you.
Yes, of course. And so on some of the older vehicles, it gets so bad to where you can actually hear this pre-detonation happening. And it creates a ping or a ting kind of noise, if you will.
Yeah, like as you're going.
So it's like a repeated metallic,
Kind
like
of.
tinging.
And it happens specifically under light acceleration, and usually a higher gear is how you duplicate the issue. And so...
Under
Load as well. Yes, thank you. And so I actually had duplicated it so much just to verify and for my own satisfaction that I got the check engine light to set, which was never set before. I'm like, oh, perfect. So I go back to the dealership, I scan the vehicle, and it's got a code in there, for a lean condition. And what that means is that the engine is getting too much air. And
P0171 or P0174.
Yes. So it had a lean condition. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, cool. It's got a vacuum leak or something like that. I don't know. So you can usually find vacuum leaks by getting some kind of... Yes, I'm trying to find the best way to describe it. An ignition, a liquid ignition, if you will. So brake clean or carburetor clean or something like that. And you start spraying it around the intake and your vacuum lines. And what happens is, because the engine is sucking in the air from where it's not supposed to, it'll suck in that ignition source and it'll cause the engine to bog down and sometimes die. And that's usually how you find a vacuum leak. Well, that's one way of finding a vacuum leak, besides smoking the intake.
Well, you should never smoke anything.
Well, I mean...
Well, some things are legal in California.
That is debatable. That is definitely debatable. So I wasn't able to find the vacuum leak by doing it that way, unfortunately. So I started grabbing shit. So I started grabbing the PCV hoses. I started grabbing vacuum lines. And I grabbed one specific vacuum line and I hear a hiss. I'm like, ooh, yes. There it is. Mind you, the engine's running. I'm like, that's cool.
And it's supposed to run like shit as soon as you grab that.
Well, it didn't in this case, but I grabbed it and I start wiggling the line. I'm like, oh, cool. So I follow the line and it goes to the brake booster. I'm like, oh, fucking easy. So I pull the battery out of the way so that I can see where the line connects to the brake booster. And I touch the line, and the valve that goes into the brake booster to the line that goes to the engine just falls off the brake booster. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, dope.
So
yeah.
I grab the valve and I pop it back in the brake booster and fire it up and clear the codes, and the fucking pinging.
Weird how that happens.
Like, for a customer though, that's like best case scenario.
Well,
like,
it is, but they had already told the customer that they needed an engine. So they called the customer and said, you've got a $12,000 bill coming for you. And now imagine being the service advisor, Jake. We are understanding where you're coming from with all your frustrations.
and then you're holding these two options in your hand.
Having to call the customer and be like, hey, by the way, your vehicle's ready for pickup. up. What are you talking about? Yeah, it turns out you didn't need an engine. It was just a broken vacuum line. What? What the fuck?
So at that point, do you say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the previous technician misdiagnosed the vehicle"?
Yes, and that's at the discretion of the advisor. But how do you fucking approach that?
I honestly, I have no idea how you would approach that. As
Like,
an
how do
advisor.
you approach that without making you guys look like a dumbass? What kind of people are you employing there?
Well, that's exactly the point.
And it is, and it's fucking embarrassing. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm getting paid, but at the same time, I do care because of how we look as a dealership.
But is that negated by I'm so fucking happy that I don't have to spend how much?
You're so
12
fucking
grand.
12 grand, and it's just, $100 or $150
Right,
or
and that may
whatever.
be-
So maybe I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty stoked about that. Like,
Right, and that's fine. Some people may view it that way, but then you may have some customers that are be like, hell the fuck no, I'm not taking my car back there. You almost sold me an engine.
I think that goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
There's a
Or,
difference.
I mean, you can also look at it as it's showing integrity with.
That's true.
It's showing integrity that instead of you just replacing an engine that you've already sold, right?
Yeah.
That you go and you tell them, hey, sorry about this, but
Yeah.
we're gonna straight up tell you, hey, apologies, we misdiagnosed it, but this is it now. I mean, that's showing integrity on your part for the
That's
most part.
true. And the service writer, if the service writer is saying, because they make money off of an engine job as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it all comes down to like what you said with it's the customer, the way they perceive it.
Yeah.
Customer's perception is reality.
It really is. And this isn't the first time that I've gotten a vehicle from this particular technician. For
Shade.
I don't give a flying fuck.
I know you don't.
For I don't know what you want to call it. I'm trying to.
You should
find
see how
the right
hard he's grabbing his fist right now.
terminology
Yeah.
to somewhat be nice, but for faulty diagnosis, we'll call it, I guess. And I won't go into the other ones, but I will talk about one other one with a different technician.
We're talking about slackers. I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Yes, but again, is it slackers? Is it naive? Are they naive? Is it untrained? Whatever you want to call it. But yes, so I had another vehicle. Real quick, this is a short one. That was punted to me from another department. So this other department touched it first because they thought it was going to be a quick and easy, fast fix, and it turns out it wasn't. So it came in for a running rough condition and check engine light and wanting to die at idle. So this technician looked at the vehicle and he chucked 2 spark plugs at it and 2 ignition coils and a throttle body. Okay. For a misfire in cylinder 6 specifically, but it had set codes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Sorry.
Trust me,
sorry,
I'm equally
sorry.
as
right.
I just can't. I fucking
Finish the story.
on a
please.
scale of 1 to even. I just can't.
I can't.
Okay, and so hashtag sound the bell. So he chucked all these things at it that he thought it could be, and then after doing all of these repairs, decided to do a compression test on the engine. And guess what?
Chicken butt.
Low compression in one of the cylinders. And I mean, let me rephrase that. No compression in one of the cylinders.
You don't say.
Wow. And so, long story short, I ended up diagnosing it within probably 20 minutes to a broken valve spring in the valve train.
Was it a 6.2 liter?
It was a 6.8 liter.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
so it was a 5.4 with 2 more cylinders slapped on the back of it.
Love those.
Yes, they're great fucking engines. They really are. They're fantastic if you take care of them. But so this vehicle has been in our dealership since August
Of this year.
of this year. This vehicle has been in our dealership.
Well, you
since
guys
August.
better get it out soon because it'll be next year.
Oh, I finished today. Did
you
I think
finish?
I did. I think I spent all of maybe 3 hours under that hood, and most of that time was spent the fucking tool trying to get it under the goddamn camshaft. Oh yes, Micah knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's so fucking annoying.
Did Dale invent a tool for that as well?
No.
They have tools for it.
Yeah.
As I recall, his dealership has a very good tool inventory, or at least had the last time that it was there.
Mm-hmm. It does. I actually had to buy this one because I couldn't find it in the tool room.
Honestly,
I couldn't find the whole T kit in the tool room.
Amazon makes a whole pack for those engines.
Oh, you already did it?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. I don't normally sell things on the podcast, but Amazon.
Yes, Amazon comes
They
in
really need the business, you
from
know.
time to time.
I'm sorry. I do sell things on the podcast, like our hashtag Sell the Bell, T-shirts,
our hats.
stickers, merchandise, hoodies.
Merchandising.
Get it on customerstatespodcast.com.
Yes, thank you. This wasn't a plug.
No.
So I replaced the broken valve spring. Lo and behold, the vehicle runs top notch on all 10 cylinders. And I was very proud of my apprentice for actually asking me how I came to that conclusion and how he would have been able to figure out how to properly diagnose that and understand what had happened and how he wouldn't end up in the other technician's shoes.
That's a good question to ask.
Great. I was so oh my God, I almost got a chub. It was great. So
I love those moments when
do
it's
too.
like, it's like the self-fulfillment almost of like, not only have I shown you like the right way, but now you know what to look for and like what to ask and like how to better yourself. Yeah, I love that.
yeah, it was fantastic. And so I went through the process of elimination while posing questions to him. Well, what do you think would have been the next thing? What would I have been looking for? What do you call this? What's this area of the valve train was the word I was trying to get him to say, and he couldn't say it.
all in due time.
Yeah, he'll get there. It's fine. I'm just proud of the progress that he makes regularly on the daily, and he wants to learn. He asks the questions. He wants to understand why things happen and what caused this problem. Like, it's fucking fantastic. I love my apprentice so much. He's fucking
Christian.
great. Yes, Mr. Christian. Very good. Christian with a K.
Oh, fancy.
He is Christian with a K. But that was my latest fiasco amongst, all the parts bullshit I'm still dealing with.
Does anybody else have any thoughts about slackers?
Oh,
I think you're going to have them no matter what.
I mean, everybody, no matter what dealership or parts place or fast food endeavor or whatever you work in, there's always going to be slackers in life. And you're going to come across them no matter what you do in the world. And it's how you deal with them and how you move on and overcome.
I just realized the term of what it should be for the topic of these people.
Their own culture. These people
of the people that we're talking about.
Okay.
They're called parts replacers, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
They are not technicians. They are not mechanics.
Where's the parts cannon? Hold it up.
That's what I was gonna do while he was talking, because they're fucking parts replacers. They don't know how to properly diagnose a vehicle to figure out what's wrong with it. So they're just gonna be like, oh fuck it needs an engine.
Yeah.
Or spark plugs or ignition cord. Like, what the fuck?
That's so I still believe that Ford is a little bit unique in that aspect, as that we have a lot more, we rebuild transmissions. Do you rebuild transmissions on your side, Will? No? Okay.
No transmissions, no motors.
You might do cylinder heads on vehicles.
That's the most we tear down at our dealership.
Yeah. So it's somewhat similar, but still I believe that Ford's processes specifically for Ford, and that's the only thing that I can speak to, is that Ford's processes are a little bit more in depth as far as like actual hands-on stuff, and it's like, I think it's a dying breed.
It is, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to do it anyways. Kind of touching on that.
Jake.
Touching on that, I had.
Sorry, babe.
I
He's not here.
I had to perform a cost cap on a vehicle, which.
What's that?
I'm
Okay. I'm just making sure. I'm just asking questions.
Can he tell the story?
Yeah. Are you telling the story or am I?
Sorry, maybe to go on.
So I had to perform a cost cap on a vehicle, which you have to perform a cost cap when you're trying to replace a powertrain assembly, whether it be an engine or a transmission in Michael's case, to see if it would be more cost effective to replace the unit as a whole or to rebuild it or fix it, quote unquote, as they call it. Our new cost cap tool, new quote unquote, takes into consideration not only labor time and parts costs, but it also takes into consideration the fact if parts are available to complete a repair procedure. So if parts are on intergalactic back order for this to repair it, it's going to tell you to replace it. So that's nice. But I had to do a cost cap, back to the topic, I had to do a cost cap on this Raptor to replace the engine on it, where we had catastrophic engine failure where the pistons hit all of the fucking valves and it needed a goddamn long block.
Hi, piston meat valve.
Yes. Now kiss.
What a meet cute.
Yes. Where I had to replace the long block. And so I have to do a cost cap because I want to replace the powertrain assembly. This motherfucker said to repair the powertrain by replacing the short block
and both cylinder heads and everything else.
Cylinder heads and all of the what the fuck? How is this more cost effective? The engine was available, by the way. The long block was available.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I marched straight to my warranty admin's office. I'm like, there has to be way to override this because this is fucking bullshit.
Oh wait, your warranty admin is on the site at all times?
Ooh, shots fired.
No,
Sammy
Sam.
Sosa.
Oh, that would be so nice to have my warranty
Wow, Sam, I'm
administrator.
jealous
Yes.
of you. Just tell them
On
you're a
site
phone
at
call
all
away.
times.
It's
Oh,
fine.
man.
You can fucking call her on the phone. What's your problem?
Yes, he has a cozy little office where his wife also works and handles paperwork. And we get our O's closed and sent to Ford for payment the next day. The next day.
I feel like you're doing this at me.
Oh, no. Look,
No, I'm not threatening
he's
to you.
like, he's ready to come.
I'm ready to come at this point. Like, do you understand the labor
next
intensity of
fucking day?
It's wonderful.
It blows my fucking mind. And this isn't
It's
shade at
possible.
anybody.
No, it is completely feasible and possible if you have the right infrastructure for your dealership, which we
absolutely.
do not have.
I'm not being shady in any way, shape, or form. Maybe poking fun, but I'm not being shady because my mind was blown.
That's unique for your dealership to have that.
Really is. Granted, this guy's been doing it for 25 fucking years.
Well, that's what you get when you have somebody that's been doing it for 25 years.
Damn.
And
That
Sam
could
is
be us.
well on her way, and she's
Oh,
fantastic
absolutely.
at her job.
Sam is fucking amazing. I love
Just
you,
want to make sure
Sammy.
that's very
Well,
clear.
experience does count for some. Like, it definitely counts. You learn something every time, and
Oh,
this
Allie, you're also
industry.
good, too.
Thank you. Wow.
You're all right.
Will works with me.
You're getting
Will's
there.
gonna tell me how good I am.
Our own little warranty wizard.
Yeah, but I mean, it's constantly changing, and it's something that like you could
seems daily.
definitely
It
go to
seems
school
daily.
for it. I feel like you could. There's
Well,
so
you-
many
You're
nuances.
not wrong.
You do go to school for it. There's like for Ford, there's
School
like
of hard
constantly.
knocks.
So like, there's not only the like online e-learning courses
Mm-hmm.
to learn on stuff, but there's like seminars that you have to go to.
Yeah,
to
it's a
maintain your
standard.
certifications. Yeah, that's like the thing.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm done with my rants and raves. We can move on to Michael's favorite topics.
What? Oh man.
You have a couple up there that you've been dying and chomping at the bit to talk about.
I mean, we're getting close to the
You have
to
plenty
the
of
end.
fucking time.
Okay, so I would say like
You can tease.
so no.
No,
let's
there's tons of time. Go on.
let's talk about a body shop update. How about that?
Yes.
Okay, so we have talked about kicking the body shop out and re-inheriting that space for the service department.
How many bays space is it?
So we are
bay.
we are getting 5 bays back from that body shop, and as of today, which is an undisclosed time and day, as of
It's
today,
Friday.
yes, it is Friday. As of Friday, the body shop is out. The spray booths are gone. All the equipment is out. Everything's gone. And on Monday, the company is coming out to come mark and cut concrete and start pouring new slabs for the pads. So the schedule that I had laid out for everything to the body shop was giving us X amount of dollars per month to, you know, rent that space. And it's costing us money to, you know, change that space. And we're also not making money from that space until we get that space done. So my job was to make sure that the time frame for all of the renovations happened in such amount of time that we were minimizing the loss of revenue from that physical space, right? Everything is going exactly to plan. I'm just like, I cannot. It's like absolutely. Oh, sorry. Hashtag tell about.
That.
I cannot explain how happy I am that somehow all of the like 3 or 4 different companies that I've, you know, that are collaborating to do this whole project for us are somehow agreeing to my schedule and are able to complete it. So, phase 2 is going to be happening next week, and it's just absolutely amazing. So again, for anybody that's isn't familiar, at my dealership, we've always had like an on-site, you know, body shop, small body shop with 2 spray booths and a you know, prep area and stuff like that. And so now we have removed the 2 spray booths, and we are going to be installing 5 new lifts in that area. So we've reclaimed area from a body shop area that wasn't doing anything for the service department, and now we have 5 new brand new lifts that are coming into that area. That's going to open up a shop for, like, you know, or a space for at least 2 new technicians.
Not used lifts, but brand new lifts.
Brand spanking new lifts.
Can I ask you, just curious, like, what is the ballpark dollar amount that this project is going to cost? Do you know?
Yeah, of course I know.
Is it $1 million?
No.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Just asking.
I'm gonna.
Just the lift alone, they're probably going to be about 100,000, right? And they're about 25 grand a piece. The in-ground ones.
They're not in ground. They're
We only have
okay.
two post lifts.
So the
out
ones
of
we just replaced at the dealership were with the one in the Service Express spots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was 25 grand for that.
Wow.
Whole
so out of the 8 lifts that we're having installed in the shop, there's only 2 in-grounds that are being installed.
I miss my in ground lift. I prefer an in ground lift to a 2 post.
We have two
right.
We have 2 12K in-ground lifts that are specifically made by the company that sells them to us to
2 of the
service.
12K, but you have that third in ground in heavy line. That's out. That's out. Oh my God. Fucking, you guys ruined it. Anyways,
Moving
on.
You'll have to come by and see.
No, thanks.
but anyway, the shop is set up. The shop is set up for the new generation of vehicles that are coming out, and also to service the vehicles that we still currently have in service, and to improve efficiency in the shop. So
It all comes back round.
I'm very excited for this. It's I've had a
congratulations.
smile on my face this whole friggin' time. It's been great.
Congratulations.
And apparently, I also am going to inherit an office. So
Oh.
I get my own office. It's more like a jail cell, literally.
No windows.
Well, no windows,
has
brick
windows.
walls, and it's literally the dimensions of a small jail cell. But
I wouldn't know. I've never been to one.
well, I'll have
Anyway.
to show you sometime.
No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
I heard we have some listener mail.
Yes. This is like slightly shade.
It is, and it's directed at me.
No. I
It's
think
fine,
I just
go
want
on.
some diversity.
It's fine. Go ahead.
All right, it's not okay. So we do have listener mail, and we love our fans and listeners.
We do. Let's
Thank
preface
you.
that with this. We do
And-
appreciate you.
Jake, and so Will, you know this, but Jake and Eric like to have their fun with their jokes, right?
Right.
And so a listener wrote in to us and said, like, hey, don't let Jake and Eric have all the fun with the jokes. Like, here's one for you. Go ahead and throw it in.
They want to steal my glory.
Well, we're gonna try and spread the glory around.
Fine, I'll share.
So just to be certain that I'm not stepping on any toes, I'm gonna play the.
I'm a bit. Oh,
I'm gonna play the outro because in case this thing bombs, I just.
You're just gonna immediately go to the
a pre-recorded.
the music. Yeah.
But I would like everybody to thank Darren for this
Thank you, Darren. We
hilarious
appreciate you.
joke.
That's a new name to me. Hi, Darren.
Thank you for writing in. We appreciate you. Go on.
All right. What's the difference between an epileptic oyster shucker and a prostitute with diarrhea?
Oh my god. Okay, an epileptic oyster shucker.
Epileptic oyster shucker. Oh my god, that's hard to say.
Fucking
Hold on.
tongue twister.
What's the difference between an epileptic oyster shucker and a prostitute with diarrhea? That is a tongue twister in and of itself.
Oh my god. Okay, so a person with epilepsy who's shucking oysters,
Yeah.
and a person who's a woman of the night
Or man.
or man, a person of the night.
What is it? What is it? I want to know.
Guesses, guys. Come on. This is a game.
Okay, one's a oyster shucker and the other one's a shucker oyster. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's something like that.
Yeah, what is it?
It's in the same vein as the busty crustacean. I know it is.
Very, yes.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I can tell. Do you?
And
I
the
don't
guess as
even
well?
want to try.
Yeah, I feel like.
Go ahead.
I don't want to offend.
Okay. What's the difference between an epileptic oyster shucker and a prostitute with diarrhea?
Yes.
What?
One shucks between fits.
One shucks between fit.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
There it is. She got it. Oh my
I
god.
also just got a text message from my general manager.
There's another part to that.
Yeah, what's the second half of that?
There's nothing else, and we're gonna move on from there.
Oh my god!
Stop, Eric. No.
Oh my god!
Allie, no. Okay, everybody. Yes, we'll leave that up to the imagination of the
If
audience.
you don't
Thank you very
understand
much.
that joke, please message us.
I don't understand why we're doing this. Like, we're a fucking adult podcast. This is ridiculous.
No, that's customer states after hours. That's
doesn't
the
fucking
separate
matter. This
other
is
one.
You
Stupid.
started it
Also,
with your jokes. You started it.
Yeah, but I at least say
Well-
the entire joke.
Eric's jokes were before like very funny. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's not me saying that, babe.
I'm going to thank our sponsors now
Oh.
because I really appreciate them. Thank you to Travis Ferris from Hit Distributing, supplying us with Justice Brothers products.
And thank you from Nick Lowridge, supplying us with Matco tools and also Milwaukee products.
Raymond Moon from El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake
Raymond Moon.
Elsinore.
Is that like Michael Sarah?
Thank you for his creamy guac. We appreciate
Delicious.
you.
And thank you, Will, again for being here. We
Yes.
really
Thank you for
super
having
duper. It was a great pod.
It was. This was a good one. Thank you to all of our listeners and anyone out. Thank you to Dale Follett and everybody else. Please
Bruce
reach out.
Vane for
Bruce
these
Vane
things.
for the fucking killer tunes
Check us out on the social medias.
on our email,
We got the website.
customerstatespodcast@gmail.com or our website, customerstatespodcast.com. Buy our merch. We
Please do.
Yes, we
It's just
really,
one way to support us.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
Email us. I'll send you stickers for free.
Yeah, and don't forget if you do, our email. That's also our PayPal.
Yes, send us jokes, send us topic
Oh,
suggestions.
jokes
all
for
of
sure.
that.
Yes.
Please.
We'll
Some good
shout
ones.
you
And
out.
Darren, thank you for that joke.
Yes,
that
thank
was
you, Darren.
really
I
good.
loved it.
I'm sorry you were
Also
left hanging
you.
on that, Darren,
Also disgusting.
but it's fucking hilarious. Oh my god, excuse me again. God, I'm gassy as fuck.
You need a Beano, babe.
Not that end, the other end.
And
Isn't
with
it for the
that,
same?
and with that, we say,
Stay classy, even if you're gassy.
Oh my god, that was brilliant.
that's
High
actually not
five,
bad.
bitch.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck yeah.
we can end on that.
Love you.
Love,
Love
you.
you.
Oh, you bitches. Fuck you both.
Love you.
Love you.
Question, love you.
Hi, this is Mike Sarah from Customer States. Matco Tools is one of the best tool companies in the industry, and Nick Lowridge is one of the best Matco tool distributors. Nick can get me anything I need for the shop or for at home. From oil drain pans to beef jerky, Nick's got what I need on tap. Nick works in the Thousand Oaks, California area, and you too can get whatever you need by calling him at 805-796-7323. And if you're not in that area, call him anyway and tell him you heard about him from the Customer States podcast. And then you can hop on to matcotools.com and find a Matco Tools distributor near you. Matco Tools. Service, trust, results.